Welcome to episode 182 of the Blue Recluse. My name is Martin Larsen, and you're listening to the podcast about everything Blizzard. It's Sunday, March the 18th, 2018. And with me today, I have all the way from the Northern Irish lands of potatoes, Tom Knight. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. I can actually wave now while podcasting, and people will see. That's quite mind-blowing for me. And it is going to take me a bit of a while to get used to, but I can already see that the crowd in the Blue Recluse is filling up. Everyone's getting their glasses filled for another exciting adventure here in the tavern. And I'm back after missing last week, thanks to Ryan from, what's that show called? I forgot the name.
What else?
Geez, I don't know.
Something to do with, right?
The Instance.
The Angry Umbrella. I don't know. Whatever.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah. Michael, I heard you. You said something. You here as well. Hello. How you doing?
Yes, I am here. Good morning. I woke up a little late this morning, actually, so I had to rush through, take a shower, make a bagel, make the coffee. But I got here on time. We're ready to go. Let's do it.
Good. Let's do it then.
Here I come. I sense something elusive. Stay a while and listen well met. You are not prepared. This better be good. Existence is mysterious.
Loud and clear. Hello there.
Greetings, traveler. And welcome to the Blue Recluse.
And we are live. We are recording. Everything works.
Is it good? Are we here?
That's great. We're here. We're on Twitch. So if you're not listening or watching it live, then you're probably listening to the podcast. That's recording as well. I think I remembered to push all the buttons that I need to push.
That's good. That's good. So we can definitely proceed with our chunky show full of stuff.
So let's just jump straight into it, right? Let's talk about that little game called World of Warcraft. It's a small game that's existed for.
I mean, hang on. You guys spent the whole last week talking about World of Warcraft, and I'm hitting the table in frustration. In fact, you want to start off this week's show with World of Warcraft? Is this going to be another one of those shows where we just talk about World of Warcraft? Okay.
Yes.
No problem. Please continue. Okay.
It's World of Warcraft, tiny game, existed a few years, got a small community, and yeah. What can you do? What does the community do in World of Warcraft, Tom?
I don't know. Do they do anything? I mean, this community is not renowned for its passion for the community spirit, is it? I mean, that would be like us right now being on Twitch and there would be nobody watching. But hey, there is people watching. Like, I can see Frasley, the gnome. I can see him out there. I want to say hi to him because he is my friend. And I can see Alexander as well. And Sailor Selena is definitely part of the community as well. So hey, just this very moment, we have community aspects going on. But I know what you're hinting at, Marty. I know what you're hinting at. And you are hinting at something that I had linked in the show notes, which is the power of community. And not only is it happening right now as we speak, but you may have remembered Shadow the Fox charity pet. And we've had charity pets. They're really good for people to increase their pet collection and feel good about giving money to charity as well. Blizzard nail it with that, because people maybe talk themselves out of saying, no, I'm not going to buy this pet this time. But if you say, oh, but it's for charity, okay, I'll make this one exception. So we got the numbers in for the latest charity push that we had, and there was a plushie involved as well. So this helped to raise 1.8 million for the American Red Cross. Sorry, 1.8 million US dollars, because I know there is many different currencies in the world that could have been.
How much gold is that?
Oh, I mean, you're gonna ask me that right now. I think it is a lot of gold. I think it is a lot of gold. Is that a lot of gold, Michael?
It sounds like a lot. As somebody who barely goes over 100,000 gold, it sounds like something beyond my reach. So it's a little bit out of my social class. So I can't comprehend it.
I mean, it's a couple of bitcoins, isn't it? That's what it is. If we're talking cryptocurrency, which we're not. So let's just move on. But yeah, I mean, I think with things like the charity causes, people always club together, and I'm just thinking of I'm just thinking of Frazi here, the gnome run as well, which is in support of. Is it cancer? Or is it specifically breast cancer? I know it's something to do with pink, and that's breast cancer. So it's something that brings the community together. And we all have things going on in our lives that we use gaming maybe to escape from as well. And I think it's also important to address those issues while combining it with our passions for gaming. And Alessandro in the chat has just confirmed it's for breast cancer research. So I'm glad I did get that right as well. But pushing on to something a bit more in depth in game and the community coming together is something that's been quite big in Legion, and it's the solving of riddles and puzzles and secrets that have lied unearthed in the game. And there's been Discord channels set up and communities built in those channels to solve these puzzles that came in with specifically the latest expansion in Legion, where we had various. I have no idea how people solve these puzzles. It's just, once you've seen them solved, it's all about, go to Oldawar and click on this urn at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, and it's just a big list of really crazy instructions. And they've been unlocking mounts, they've been unlocking pets, and to me, probably to you guys as well, pretty mind-blowing that people were able to solve these things, because even when I read the guide, I still struggle to solve the puzzle. I'm like, I'm reading the guide, go here, click on this tree, and I still can't find the tree. I'm like, how did somebody do this?
How did people figure out to begin with? Because some of the clues and some of these puzzles are like, it's so not obvious, and I don't get how people figure it out. It's amazing, all the people that do. I'm just happy that there are guides afterwards for noobs like me.
I think
Michael,
that
what about you?
I think that Blizzard listens to all the podcasts, because it's amazing that something like this suddenly comes up after the Blizzard umbrella did their podcast on toxicity in the community and all that exists.
That was the name of the show, Blizzard Umbrella. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty cool that we get this right now. Have you guys ever done any of those to get any of the mounts, by the way?
Yeah, I've done the first one. I think it was. I did that one. I can't remember what it is on top of my head right now.
Yeah.
That one. I think we did it together. Didn't we? So we did most of it together or something.
We did. We followed even we were following the guide together as a partnership, and it still took us ages. We were like, where do we go? It's supposed to be in this room and we can't see it. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, we're not the sharpest fork in the tavern, but we're just following instructions, and we're still taking us ages to do. But I mean, I've always liked that aspect, that there's these underlying secrets in the game, and I'm always thinking, is there more? Is there just more that people don't know about? And that excites me, even though I'm probably not intelligent enough to ever solve these ones that are just so in depth. And I like solving puzzles, and sometimes I think I'm okay at it, even though I've recently started playing Sudoku again, and I suck at it. I don't know why.
I love Sudoku.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, it's just the fact that these are in the game. It's always been comforting to me, especially that they did go a bit more in depth with them with Legion, and just how it brings the community together. It's just another aspect that you take out of the game to solve something in the game. And yeah, there's just all these different networks, and we know ourselves doing some podcasts for Blizzard games as well, just how that kind of page turned when we started doing this, and we saw this whole new area of discovery of just so many people doing different things with regards to the community. And it blows your mind just on a daily basis. I mean, you go on Twitter, you see people doing art, you see people making models or sculptures, or even making Hearthstone cards out of wood. It's just like it doesn't end. It doesn't end on people's passions and just when it all comes together. I mean, you can build the best game in the world, but if you don't have the people behind it to support it and to take it just to that next level. I mean, look at Star Wars right now. If you were just solely going on the storyline in Star Wars right now, I mean, where would that be? But it's the passion that people have had, you know, over the years, and just the communities that are.
Wait, were you hating on the new Star Wars tech right there?
So it's the communities. It's the communities. I've got my lightsaber. My lightsaber's just out of reach, actually, so I can't do anything with that. But yeah,
Use the Force.
I will try. I was hating on the new Star Wars just a little bit, just a tittle bit from the storyline perspective. But
Oh my god, if this was a whole different podcast, then I think we would have a huge, long discussion right now.
big
Anyway,
I'm
debate.
sure we
Tables
would.
be flipped.
Sure we would.
but yeah, no, the Blizzard community, it's amazing. There's so many things. I mean, just like the websites like Thoughtbot, for people who knows that. Today it's probably more like Wowhead, all the new news sites, MMO Champion, for instance, and all what they're doing over there, and add all the add-on, the people who make add-ons for the game. And I mean, you can continue. There's so many different communities, like sub-communities in this whole huge community called Blizzard Gaming.
I love how we give a shout out to Thoughtbot, though. I mean, that's great. That's great.
Thoughtbot was amazing back in the day.
Is it still going? Is it still like
It's
just?
still there.
Is it like the equivalent of Yahoo, where you know where people?
It's still kind of
anything from
around,
Yahoo,
but nobody
but it's
uses
still
it.
there.
Yeah.
It's there
I think
for
it is.
email
I think
purposes.
it is.
Yes, apparently people have Yahoo emails. Apparently, I
do.
want to go on
I do.
Thoughtbot right now and look up something. So let's see. Anybody want me to search something? Anybody have any ideas? Oh, it's gone. Is it gone? Oh,
Is it gone?
I
Is it
think it's
gone now?
gone.
No.
It's gone. Well, this is
Okay.
tragic. This is absolutely tragic.
It's a sad day.
You had to
Oh,
go
there's
and
like
search it up, bring down the mood.
I don't know why. I mean, the top post is just Thoughtbot Wikipedia, and then the second result is Wowhead. So it's like, wow, you know, even now, Thoughtbot just can't get its moment in the light. I'm really sad about that. Wow, can't believe I looked it up. It's gone. It's gone. But yeah, it all started there, didn't it? It all started there with regards to searching for everything. I was gonna go find some old comments and stuff.
When you needed to find out where Mankirk's wife is. Mankirk.
Where is she? Come on, where is Mankirk's wife? I want to know.
You may never know.
I know I can't get on Thoughtbot, so I'm never gonna find out.
We're never going to find out.
There's no other place
know
on
what
the
I think,
internet to
though?
find out.
I think we should get a petition going here. Let's get Thoughtbot back for Classic WoW. Because you know what? I'm not going to go play Classic WoW, and I'm not going to go on Wowhead, because that's not what I did. I went on Thoughtbot and got really obscure answers and random numbers that were supposed to be coordinates. That's how the vanilla experience is supposed to be. So we've got to bring back Thoughtbot, guys. We got to go out there, take to the streets. We've got to make banners. We've got to light torches. We've got to say, bring Thoughtbot back. That's really hard to say. Bring Thoughtbot back. Thoughtbot back.
Bring Thoughtbot back.
Bring my Thoughtbot back. Okay?
Bring Thoughtbot back.
Bring Thottbot back. Just like that. Just say that. We can
I
do
don't.
it,
I don't
guys.
know what this podcast is turning into right now.
I don't know. It's, Also, Wowhead has created a Thoughtbot look for Wowhead Classic.
Oh,
Or
little
Warcraft
shout out.
Classic, is it? So they're just cashing in on Thoughtbot.
Way to like twist it. Like they're trying to show like homage to something that they probably used and they looked up to, and you're just like, way to steal ideas.
Yeah. I feel like we need to change the subject here. I'm feeling pretty down about the Thought. But I mean, we're to blame. We never went to Thoughtbot after Wowhead came out, and that's why it shut down. We're the problem. But yeah,
We're
Pretty
part of the
much.
problem.
we're gonna work on bringing it back.
Speaking on feeling down, let's talk about Diablo.
Wow. Wow, that transition though.
segue.
Wow.
Ooh, very good.
Sorry, I just had to.
That was good. That was good. No, I
Any of you
appreciate that.
guys? Any of you guys who've played anything in the new season? By the way, just now we are on the subject. Michael is pointing his finger.
I've played a new season.
Is that?
Is it good? Anything new? How's the experience?
It's pretty similar to the previous one. Not much is changing in the world of Diablo, to be honest. It's if you enjoy Diablo, then you're gonna enjoy it. If you don't like it, then guess what? You're still not gonna like it. That's pretty much where it sits.
It's all that clicking and stuff, isn't it?
Yes. Click and get the loot. Go ahead.
But yeah, we are actually bringing up Diablo not just to talk down to it. There is actually maybe some news. It is a little bit unconfirmed. It's still just on a rumor basis. Blizzard is dancing around the subject. Don't really want to say something, but there is actually news, right, Michael, for good old Diablo.
Yes, there are rumors. Alessandro brought this up to us a while back in an email that Diablo might be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Personally, I feel like that would be a great thing to do. I know, Marty, you've kind of experimented with playing Diablo on console, right? Did you actually get to it?
Yeah, I actually got into it. Me and my roommate played it a little bit one of the nights, and yeah, it works really, really well. And on console, it almost feels like it was made only for console. That's how well it plays.
And that seems to be a prevailing thought amongst a lot of people that have played both versions. Some people say, obviously you have those purists that are like, no, PC is just the way to go. Nothing can change from that. While you have others that feel that it is actually a better experience on the console than it is on the PC. For whatever reason, my biggest compliment towards it on the console, especially one like the Switch, is that you're sitting there with your friend playing it next to you. And I think the Switch is kind of that system that's built towards, we're promoting that type of play. Don't always look on the internet to find your friend. Get the person next to you to play. I think that's a great idea, and to take it on the go like that would be pretty fun too.
Yeah, because I mean, even on console, it's a great couch game, just sitting next to your friends and play it. And I actually wouldn't have thought it to begin with, because when you think how it actually played out on PC, you're like, well, I might run up north and you might run down south and things like that. But it actually works quite well on the same screen as a couch game. I haven't tried playing it like a proper multiplayer game where we are playing with two different PlayStations, obviously, but as a couch game, it works quite well, really well.
I actually think, oh, well, this is controversial, but I think it plays better on console than it does on PC. I just feel like it almost feels like it's meant to be a console game now. It was such a good adaptation of the PC version. I feel like just having a control in your hand and just how they even keybinded all the abilities together, I don't know, it feels better to me when you're casting spells and moving around, and yeah, and just how they've integrated just little quick actions as well to, mark something as junk and things like that. To me, I thought, wow, they've really nailed this. And they also added some extra things into the console version, like the Nemesis system, where you can get killed by this spawn. If you get killed by it, it spawns in the game. It's pretty powerful. If it kills you, he jumps in a portal, goes into one of your friends' games when they're online, and every time he kills, he gets more powerful, and his reward for killing him then grows as he gets more powerful as well. I thought it was so cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a little
That's
extra.
cool. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
It would be so cool to have on PC as well. I mean, it's a shame it isn't really, because that is a really cool system.
Because to start with as well, the way when you're destroying the environment and you get a little bonus for doing that as well, it starts racking up. There was these little bonuses you can get for killing sprees and things like that. Initially, that was only in the console, But they eventually brought that over to PC as well. So I'm surprised they didn't bring the Nemesis system over as well. But perhaps that was just more of a let's give the console people something, because initially they didn't have seasons as well. But since then, consoles do have seasons now. So maybe I don't know. Maybe we do see it as a little throw a bone to the Diablo people as they wait for Diablo 4, or
it will be
something
in
else
Diablo
as well.
4.
It probably will be, actually. Although I haven't, how it's strange that maybe they just put it in console to see how it would go, but then why not just put it in the PC as well? I don't really understand that. But this whole talk about Switch stems from something that Blizzard tweeted as well about a light switch that they posted of Diablo and it being turned off and on. And anytime you see a light switch in a video game company, it's going to be on the Switch. That's how it starts now. But I actually did a bit of research today about Blizzard and their connection with Nintendo, and it's not an uncommon thing that these two companies have rubbed shoulders in the past. And as Michael well knows, he was a StarCraft 64 player, which still blows my mind. I have to ask Michael, just before I continue, do you have the Rumble pack in for that as well? Just playing StarCraft with the Rumble pack?
I know that we had the Rumble pack. Whether or not I actually used it, I don't remember.
Yes, kids, this was back in the day when you bought a controller and then you had to buy an add-on plug into your controller to make it vibrate.
Not only that, but the add-on was like so heavy compared to like the rest of the controller. It just like pulled it back a little.
Oh man, all these throwbacks. Blue Recluse really makes you feel old. But where am I going with this? Yes, so we had that with the Nintendo 64, and even more recently than that, I think it was around 2003, 2004. There was a handheld console known as the Game Boy Advance. I still have one lying about here somewhere. And Blizzard and Nintendo released classic Blizzard games: Lost Vikings, Blackthorn, Rock and Roll Racing. They all came out on the Game Boy Advance as well. I didn't know this. I actually didn't know this. I was looking through going, wow, like these were out, and they are described as Blizzard classics. They were out on a console, a portable console, and just kind of blew my mind to see those cover art images and just say like, yeah, it's not going to be that surprising if Diablo ends up on the Switch. I mean, Diablo was also on the PlayStation as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen it. It's not going to be that surprising if it happens. And the Switch, I have to admit, I haven't been Nintendo's biggest fan over the past 5 to 10 years. I feel like they've done a few things kind of strangely, especially with the Wii U as well. But I feel like they've come back really strong with the Switch, and it's definitely capturing, like Michael says, that essence of back when you had your friend beside you and you were playing games like that there just before the internet. And it's a special feeling to try and recapture, especially now we've been spoiled with online gaming and just how go-to that is and how accessible that is. I think trying to rein that back is a difficult thing, but I think people do have this, or gamers have this thing inside of them where they have these memories of sitting on the couch playing these games together. And I know we're now suddenly talking about Nintendo, and I don't know how that happened, but it's not going to surprise me if this gets confirmed. I know Alexander's talking in chat about how she's saying it's very.
Whoa! Before you move on, I just want to add. I mean, you're talking a lot today, but we have opinions as well, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Because I was off last week, I feel like I have to make up.
You don't have to make it up, Tom. You don't have to make it up.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But no, I just wanted to touch really quick on that point. You said that sitting on the couch together, because I mean we play games together. We play because we live in 3 different countries, so obviously it's not that easy for us to be in the same room and play together. And I mean that works as well. It's fun. We use Discord to talk together and things like that. But there is just something special about sitting in the same room on the same console, playing the same game together or against each other. That just it makes something special, and yeah, that's just what
being
I wanted
able to
to
high five somebody. I mean, that's
yeah,
it.
Or
That's
punch
the
them.
thing. Or yeah, the physical contact element of video gaming. It's something that's been lost, and instead of instead of going high-fiving your friend beside you or punching your friend beside you, you end up throwing a controller against a wall, and then you have to buy a new one. I mean, it's so expensive, so expensive, right? That's not a personal story. That was just a made-up scenario that's never happened in my life, ever.
I haven't done it, but I mean, playing a little bit more of Rocket League with you guys, and it might happen sooner or later.
So, yeah, it's once that happens, you're a real Rocketeer.
Then you understand the struggle. That's when you throw the controller. That's the moment where it clicks. That's what happens.
That's when you know that that's when you're taking it seriously, that you will destroy a controller every time you concede a goal in Rocket League.
You're better than this. Come on.
But yeah, Tom, Alessandro is writing here in our Twitch chat that there was a video game journalist, Marcos Salas, who also tweeted a bombshell about Diablo 3, suggesting that the Blizzard game would hit Switch next year. Diablo 3 is in development for the Nintendo Switch and should be out early 2019. They are wanting to implement local play with multiple switchers. So if this is true, I'd say it's probably safe to say we would get an announcement at BlizzCon, right?
Yeah, just Mike Morhaime coming on stage with a Mario cap on, just being like,
everybody here today will get one for free.
A Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Switch for everybody at BlizzCon. Yeah, right.
We're starting early with our BlizzCon predictions this year. Imagine though, he could do it with if they actually release the game, and because the Switch, I don't know if you ever seen the cartridges. They're about an SD card size. He could just come out and go, whoa!
Diablo 3 for everybody.
Diablo. That would be incredible. I mean, I would want to be there for that. Just don't get any in your mouth. Anyway.
Wait, what?
Well, because the cartridges are coated in this like it's not toxic, but it's this strange agent. I know we shouldn't really get into talking about agents and poisoning, and yeah, you know what, we're just gonna move on, Tom, because yeah, but never. Well, you can lick one and you'll find out what I'm talking about. But anyway, this took a really weird turn.
What are you doing that you know anything about what happens when you lick video game cartridges? What is going on over there? Marty, you're closest to him. I think you need to go over and check on him from time to time.
I feel like this music feels better for the conversation we're having right now.
I mean, you gotta look it up and just look up. There's probably 100 YouTubers. There's probably people that were just licking them all to see if there was different flavors, but there was just something when the Switch first came out that they'd coated the cartridge so kids don't swallow them. So it has this sour taste, and I'm just freaking out about what sound clip you're gonna make out of this now, because I've said a few words that can be. Can we move on? Can we move on to something else? I like what Alessandro said in the chat about it's not that you're old, it's that you were born playing video games. I want to talk more about that instead of licking things.
You're the one that started that conversation.
So we had Road quickly stopping by, because now I'm moving this conversation ahead to something
my goodness.
something else. Let's get the show. Yeah.
Get this party started.
Yeah, let's get this party started. Because something happened the past week that was pretty good fun. I randomly just saw a video pop up on, I can't remember if it was my YouTube feed or whatever, and it was about some developers going into like, you know, those lost and found footage. Wow, I can't speak.
Blair Witch Project style.
Yeah, something like that. And I watched the video, and I was happy. It was a good video. It was fun. And Tom, take over.
So we've been hearing whispers that there's going to be a new Hearthstone expansion, and this week we finally got it confirmed that the new expansion is going to be the Witchwood. And yeah, if you haven't seen the announcement trailer, very much worth a watch to see Ben Brode and our good friend Dave Cossack out in the woods, creeping around.
Dave is so much fun. I
love
love
Dave.
all the videos he's in. He's amazing.
He's so good. And they're out in the woods finding new cards that are going to be in the expansion, and yeah, very creepy. But I know I feel like I could just watch Ben Brode and Dave just in a forest every week. You know, this week we're building the fire. Here's a horse.
I love how those videos just get better and better every time with Dave and Brode out in the wilds.
Yeah, Ben Brode. What a guy, Ben Brode.
Hey there, don't be scared.
Hey there, Ben Brode. But you can just see how much fun they have with what they're making, and it radiates so much. I mean, especially Ben Brode. He's just oozing. He's just oozing with passion for this game, and people question things about, oh, you know, they haven't updated this, they haven't fixed this. But I mean, you see that guy. He loves this. He's a very good actor. Ben Brode.
Don't be scared.
he loves this so much. And let's get more into, you know, the new expansion, which is going to be the Witchwood. I like that name. The trailer was depicting, where's that place called? Gilneas, where nobody goes. Gilneas and the Worgans and all the spooky goings on down in the forest. So we're gonna get 135 new cards, and we have seen a few of the cards released already, and there's a couple of new mechanics, guys. If you want to just go into that as well.
Jump
So
into the new mechanics.
the new mechanics. So there's one called Start of the Game, and we've seen this in a couple of ways so far. For example, Prince Malchazar adds 5 legendaries to your deck at the start of the game, and I'm trying to think if there's any more actually. Probably. So anyway, one of the cards, Baku the Moon Eater, 9 mana, 7 attack, 8 health, a beast. He says, start of the game in bold text, which means, woo, this does something. If your deck has only odd cost cards, upgrade your hero power. So it looks like they're going to be taking a little approach on people making sacrifices for extra power. It's like, do I get rid of all those
Is
even
it worth
cost?
it?
Well, that's it. I mean, it's gonna this one specifically is a neutral, so you would probably take it by a class by class basis. I mean, thinking of odd cost cards for example, a hunter. It's a beast card, so we'll say a hunter. You would be giving up such card as only odd cost cards. So that's even cards you wouldn't have. Wow, how confusing is this already for us guys? Well, for me.
Hello.
So now for some reason I can't. Okay, I thought of a spell, and it's a terrible spell. So you're like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to put this card in my deck, and I can't use Arcane Shot. No, wait, you can, because that's a 1 cost. You know what? Totally butchered this part. I'm trying to think of even cost mana spells for Hunter. And
Thank God this is not live, so we can just
Thank goodness.
redo this segment.
Thank goodness. You know, I mean, you know what? Let's just forget about Hunters, because I, for some reason, cannot. I can't think of any spells that are even cost. Nope, not even Call of the Wild, because they changed that to 9 cost mana instead of 8. So, you know what? Let's stick with Mage. I played a lot of Mage lately. So you put this legendary in your deck for some reason as a Mage, and you go, oh no, I can't use Frostbolt because it's 2 mana, but it's gonna upgrade my hero power. Maybe to do, I'm just gonna assume, and I know you should never do that, that it's gonna upgrade it in the way that Justicar. I'm really, you know what? Today, right? I did this. I'm just going off topic. Today, I did this quiz about, it was saying what Hearthstone cards make. And I was like, I play Hearthstone all the time. I'm going to own this quiz. I'm going to nail this quiz. And you know what? I think I only got 15 out of 49. And I could remember, I could like say the words in my head. I was like making all the the sounds in my head, and I was like, but what the hell is the name of the card? So it just shows you that sometimes there's something in front of you and you're just not taking it in. And I realized that this was supposed to be my time to shine, bringing Hearthstone back to the Blue Recluse. After all the Warcraft talk last week, I was like, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back. Bring Hearthstone back. If Dusty's listening to this, I've just given him weeks worth of ammunition to throw at me. But maybe we should just move away from this start of the game card because we will see if it works out to be good. People have made sacrifices in their decks before, Marty. You might remember a certain card called Reno Jackson, where people only put one copy of each card in their deck to make that work, and that was actually a very powerful card. Same with Kazakas as well. So it's not uncommon for people to make sacrifices to get an extra incentive, and I think it does open up a bit more of a dynamic to your deck building as well if you want to make that choice. So I think I almost saved that section that we were talking about. So another card that's doing this as well is Gangramain. Gangramain in the house, everyone. He's there.
Again.
He's gonna be a 6 mana, 6 attack, 5 health, and his start of the game is if your deck only has even cost cards, you're starting hero power cost 1. Maybe I should have started with this one. That would have been way better. I should have started the game.
Now. Michael is leaving now. Is
he gone? Is he jumped out the window or something? I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, he's back.
Michael's back, and we're going to move on to the next new mechanic because it seems like I might be able to explain this one a bit better. So this mechanic is called Echo. Ooh.
That sounded so interesting to me. That sounded like fun.
The Echo?
The Echo, yeah.
The Echo?
Yeah, the Echo. Yeah,
okay.
The Echo.
You got it.
Hey there, don't be scared.
Thanks, Ben. So Echo, a new mechanic, which the example they give was the Phantom Militia. You know what? I used to think militia was actually pronounced Matilda for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why. So this one that they give an example was 3 mana cost, 2 attack, 4 health, Echo, and Taunt. So how Echo works is, let's say it's turn 6, you throw down Phantom Militia. Makes a copy in your hand, it echoes, it plays another one into your hand that you can then play again. So you could play this twice in a turn on turn 6. After that, it's gone forever. Turn 9, you could play it 3 times. So I think we've seen this with a I think it's Unstable Evolution for Shamans, that it's a spell that you can target multiple times a turn and increase the mana cost of your minions. So we've seen these types of things in the game before, but now they're becoming more their own official keyword as well, which is pretty cool. And again, gives people some more options to play around with their decks as well. So that's pretty neat that we're getting quite a few keywords with this expansion as well. And there's one more, but Marty, you look like you're about to say something very intelligent.
And I was just going to ask, that was what you already said. That's one more keyword, right?
There's one more keyword, and it's called Rush. And this means it hits the board, it can attack, it can get in there.
But that's like charge, right?
It can only hit minions. Think of this from a design point of view, Marty. Have you thought about the implications of what this means? Have you?
No.
Neither have I, really. But yeah, this means Rush. It can attack on its turn, but only minions. And I think this is something people have wanted a bit more, because there's charge minions have been problematic. The fact that they can hit the board, hit the opponent's face, creates a lot of issues.
It also means that they could maybe make some a little bit more wacky cards where, like 30 attack, 30 health, something like that. That's probably really wacky, but something like that where it actually can go. Or is it only in the initial turn that it can't hit?
So the initial turn it can't hit face, but After that, it just becomes a normal
Oh,
menu
then
again.
it becomes
So,
a normal. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
so Marty,
Yeah. No, but
keep,
don't
stay
listen to
away
me.
from
Don't
designing
listen.
Hearthstone cards.
Yeah.
Stay away. Stay away.
I'm not aware of the implications, obviously.
So I don't want to lose Michael. I don't want to lose Michael from this conversation because I can feel him. I can feel him drifting away into his very own Witchwood. Uh,
Let's waking up then.
Hello, hello, hello.
Why would I be drifting away? I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone recently.
yeah, I'm actually. I mean, this guy has been streaming Hearthstone on our channel for days, hours, and
Minutes.
minutes and seconds. All of them. All of them. So I don't know. I feel like we probably won't talk too much about cards, even because obviously I'm making a complete fool of myself. But maybe we should talk about the new single player mode because
Is there a new single player mode?
yes.
Now
So-
I'm intrigued and interested, and you got my attention, and I'm actually listening to what you're saying.
Okay, good.
Why did you start with that?
I should have, shouldn't I? So with Kobolds and Catacombs, we had Dungeon Run, which I think let's put the cards on the table and say that was a resounding success.
Everybody loved it. It's the best mode ever made.
Everyone loves it, except the fact that there's not much replayability. But you know what? Going back in the day when I played video games, I didn't need to get rewarded for I was just playing a video game because I like playing video games. I'm just gonna hold that there and just say, you know what? Dungeon Run, you could just go play it over and over. Yeah, you're not gonna get any gold for it, but it's a cool little game mode that they've made within Hearthstone, and I'm very appreciative of what they've done of it, and it's gonna grow as well as new cards get added, and maybe we get to revisit it. Maybe we do with quests or something like that. It's in the game. It's not going away, so there's potential for them to do more things with that as well. I know Michael's not a big fan of Dungeon Run. He likes the idea, but I feel like you've struggled with Dungeon Run, and as have I. I've only beaten it once, but
I also beaten it once.
I played at the start of every stream so far that I've been doing, and I still have not been able to conquer it. I have almost 100 bosses down for the mage. I am climbing up there with bosses down for the priest, and the priest I have not gone above 5.
Yeah, I seem to be balling out at 5 and 6 right now, and it's
Yeah, me too. On a lot of the classes, as I said, the only one that I actually got further than 5 was with the mage, where I actually cleared everything with it. So I definitely think that some classes is having a harder time than others.
I got to the
Yeah.
final boss on mage and just got completely countered and wasn't able to play anything.
I think we've come a long way though since I know me and you, Marty, back in the day when, for example, Naxxramas.
My favorite
came out.
expansion. Or my
Really
favorite
good.
adventure. I loved it.
Really good. But I remember we were trying to get world. When I say world first, I meant world first between me and Marty. Nothing crazy
The
like
blue
that.
recluse first. Just like pare it down.
And we were always talking about how we really enjoyed the PvE aspect of the game, but the fact that a lot of encounters started and we saw our opening hand or certain cards that the opponent would use in the first couple of turns, you knew where the game was heading and you just found yourself conceding just to get like the perfect lineup of cards. Whereas Dungeon Run has brought this aspect of skill, luck, and also choice of how you approach the game as well. And yeah, there's a lot of RNG and it can go against you, but I mean, I was playing it the other day, and I had a mage, very spell-heavy deck, and I ended up playing the guy that whenever you cast a spell, he summons a Trog. And I was like, oh no, I've totally lost this. But I managed to actually win it as well, just by not playing spells for a long time. But but I mean, it's just good that I feel like it can be a feel-good mode as well, and you get introduced to more cards. So where are we going with this, Tom? Where are we going? Monster Hunt.
So how do we know how it works? Do we know how the new solo player? How much do we know about it?
It's called Monster Hunt, and from what I'm taking in, there is a choice of 4 heroes that you can pick. So it's a little bit different that you're going to be picking these heroes, the monster hunters, maybe that's what they're called. But players will defeat bosses and collect their bounties to build a deck that will keep them alive as they stalk and quarry. Quarry? Is that a word? I'm just reading off this. I shouldn't do that. As they delve deeper into the Witchwood. So I'm not really sure. I think we're waiting for a bit more information, but it looks like you're not going to have the choice of all the 9 heroes. You're just going to have these new heroes, which is interesting. But Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, so it pretty much says that you get 4 unique new heroes. So there'll be new hunters. The challenges are kind of like Dungeon Run, it feels, from what I'm gathering, is that they'll increasingly get more difficult the farther up you go, and then there'll be one final showdown against the boss at the end. So initially after reading it, my first thought is Dungeon Run with a different theme. That's pretty much
Dungeon
it.
Run 2.0.
Yeah, except that they have crafted heroes ready for you rather than you pick a current hero.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how that plays out. If there's more depth to it or not, because there's only 4 heroes, but maybe these heroes have different new hero abilities perhaps to work into this as well. So I like how they've approached the single player mode, since they said they were doing away with adventures. The Lich King, the Kobolds and Catacombs, and now Monster Hunter as well. I'm feeling pretty confident that they're going to be something decent as well, and maybe, hopefully, get that replayability factor in there as well for people that want that. And I know myself, I would enjoy it if they give me more reasons to go back into Dungeon Run, apart from just getting
more
card back.
quests available in there. I think would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's one quest cycling around now, which is you can beat 5 bosses in Dungeon Run. They'll probably expand that to beat 5 bosses in Dungeon Run or Monster Hunt, but more quests like that. I even saw a suggestion of like a weekly thing where you go in and do X amount of Dungeon Run or something like that, or just something to get people in there.
So on the subject of the heroes, you get a choice from a rogue, a warrior, a hunter, and a mage, and they each have a special hero power that's different from the current hunter, mage, warrior, and rogue. Like you have your tracker, which is the rogue. You have your cannoneer, which is the warrior. You have your hound master, which is the hunter, and then you have the time tinker, which is the mage. So we actually have some titles there that might kind of give us some idea as into the possibility of how they might play. Like when I think of tracker as a rogue, perhaps there's going to be a bunch of cards there that will kind of help you find certain cards, help you track down certain cards that you're looking for. I like the idea of Hound Master just by the name. Just fill the board with a bunch of beasts as a hunter, like really quickly. Kind of like maybe like a ramp hunter type idea. It could be exciting. I mean, I'm definitely going to get in there. I may not be the biggest fan of Dungeon Run currently, but I'm still getting in there and trying and getting upset, but I'm still doing it. So interesting stuff, and especially since I'm in a Hearthstone mode where I'm playing Hearthstone at more than once a month. It's definitely going to spark it up a bit, I think.
So there's a few other things just to potentially whet your appetite as well. So usually when you pre-order the expansion as well, you've been getting your 50 card packs, right? And you get your card back, and now they're upgrading it. You get 70 packs now. So throwing an extra 20 packs, so 70 packs for your pre-order. So trying to get more people dropping on the pre-order. And Michael was saying about the Year of the Mammoth bundle, and I myself got in it as well, even though I've primarily been playing free to play for about 2.5 years now. And I think when people see a bit more value, that they're not as afraid to jump into that as well. And it'll be interesting to see if that extra 20 packs is enough to make somebody go, well, you know what? I wasn't seeing the value in 50. Do I see the value in 70? And I'm looking at Marty right now.
I'm looking at Marty. Thinking, yeah.
He's doing,
I'm thinking that
it's got him interested again. It's got him.
Yeah.
He's
God
gonna.
damn it.
He's gonna open that wallet. A couple of moths are gonna fly out, but then boom.
And I need to check my bank account just a sec.
It's already been withdrawn. You didn't have a choice.
It's gone.
Blizzard
Direct
already
debit.
took it.
There we go. It's ordered.
It's ordered. I love how quick that is. Just one touch. One
You
touch.
saw it live here on stream. Just ordered it right away. Just disposable income, ready to go. All right.
Booyah. So there's a few other things been data mined as well, and there's something about maybe up to 20 card packs for free coming along with this expansion as well. But nothing's been confirmed yet. But it looks like there's going to be a couple of days that are flagged as when you log in, you'll get a card pack as well. That's potentially 4 separate days that you could log in and get a Witchwood card pack as well. They might do the Tavern Brawl aspect as well, where the weeks leading up to the expansion, the Tavern Brawl rewards the new expansion pack that you won't be able to open until the expansion launches. But it will be interesting to see if, just in turn, that they've ramped up the pre-order card pack bundle. Will they up how many card packs they give away for free once the expansion goes live as well? And something tells me yes. I have a feeling we're going to see a few more as well, especially because it's the first expansion of the year. Well, not just because of that, but just, new year, new stuff. Let's throw it all at them, and then we're going to get the Hall of Fame changes as well, so people are going to get a lot of dust, and it's going to be really feel good times where people will have a lot of new cards, a lot of dust, and maybe some people might stick around for a bit longer. Might stick around, Marty. They might not go away. They might open up Hearthstone a bit more.
Sorry, I've had so much. I have so
Have
much
you frozen?
trouble paying attention to you because your video just froze, and then I noticed Michael noticing. And started, yeah, so I got thrown off there a little bit. But yeah, I think my main issue is at the moment is not the game actually. It is just finding time to do everything that I want to do. There's just so many things going on at the moment, both. With Blizzard Gaming, but also like in my life out of game at the moment, so it's just hard. Oh, hi Tom, he's
right.
back.
It was
just
that
hard
was so weird. Can I just say that I was talking and I finished my sentence and you guys were just looking like this here? It's like, oh, they're not happy at all. Not happy at all.
So no, my issue is just like a time issues.
And I have a question. Are they still? Did they say anything about it possibly being the same amount of cards that they're releasing? Like, what is it? They normally release like 135 or something like that.
Yep, that's it.
So we're
Same
getting
amount.
more packs, but the same amount of cards. Which
Yep,
means that I
more.
might actually want to drop the money on this one, because playing Hearthstone right now, last night I was actually looking. I did it. I was looking up a net deck because I wanted to climb a little higher. The problem is this. The problem is this, is that I didn't have a lot of the cards that they wanted me to put in that deck. So I had to make some adjustments to it. So if I have a greater chance on filling the card roster, and this one seems like it, then I'm probably going to take it. And I want to do it because I don't want to be in another situation where I'm so far behind that I don't have the cards necessary just to be able to create a deck that might be worth it to actually ladder with, because we all know I suck at making decks. So I just end up with a bunch of taunt minions and forget why I put taunt in there to begin with, so that I can like shield other things. It's just like the board is filled with nothing but taunt, and I'm just getting wrecked.
Michael, that is like classic Hearthstone mentality of a first year Hearthstone player.
And I've kept it every year of Hearthstone.
So yeah, actually the one thing I did notice with Kobolds and Catacombs, suddenly got really hard to say that, was I was looking at the legendaries for that deck set, and yes, we got the weapons, and a couple of them was it the weapons? Oh my goodness. It was weapons, right? Yeah. I was looking at the kind of neutral legendaries, and most of them weren't really like, I mean, if you got it, you could maybe make something work, but it wasn't like, yeah, you need these legendaries. And I think a lot of them, you didn't really need them. It was more the epic cards and um, like rare cards that were the ones you were like, oh yeah, you probably need those. And I think a lot of people are now having issues with the epic quality cards because they still cost quite a lot to craft, but um, they're the ones being used in a lot of the decks as opposed to legendaries as well. But we'll still get our probably get our free legendary as well, perhaps. That hasn't been confirmed, but
I feel like if there's somewhere where they should probably start making some adjustments and some improvements soon, it could probably be the crafting system.
yeah, that would. I think that's that. I mean, that's punishing. It's really punishing where you're not getting that. When you get a third of the value of the card or something when
A
it's
fourth, I think. 1/4.
a quarter. There we go.
Yeah,
Math.
a quarter.
Math. I've totally. I mean, does he even play Hearthstone? Does he even play Hearthstone? Honestly, I play it every day, and I
But you're
fail to.
apparently not crafting a lot. Apparently.
I'm not crafting a lot. No, I let that dust pile up, and I tried to just not disenchant cards. This is my tip. This would be my tip to you, Michael. I would be like, you know what? Don't hit that disenchant all button. Just
That's what I put
chill
all
out.
the time.
Chill out. And only really do that.
In the beginning, I what I did a lot was that I'm playing priest. Priest is fun. That's what I'm playing. So I just disenchanted all the other classes cards.
Oh.
Yeah, that was I regretted that. So, but
Oh yeah. So
I think-
my tip is don't do that. Just if
Don't
you
do that.
need if you need yeah, don't do that, and don't disenchant. Just don't hit that disenchant all, just because it's fun to do. I mean, it's fun to do, right? It's fun just doing that. I like doing that as well, but only really do that if you need a card and you're like, yeah, I need the dust. So do that. But generally, rule of thumb, let them sit, because sometimes changes happen, especially after an expansion. Ooh, don't start disenchanting stuff, because you don't know what's going to get changed, and you can get the value from that as well. So that's a little bit of a game. And I was going to say something else about something, but I just totally forgot what it was.
That's okay, because I have a question for you.
Okay.
How are you feeling about the new ladder with the new star system and how you rank up? How are you feeling about that so far? Do you feel like it's a slog, or does it feel pretty comfortable for you?
Okay, so if you'd asked me this 2 weeks ago, when the when the season first started, I was not happy. But generally, the first 2 weeks in a Hearthstone season for me is horrific. I don't really tend to net deck, but I tried to make something that I can get my quest done with and make a bit of progression. Horrible. It was horrible. I was getting absolutely destroyed. I think I played 15 games and I won 1. It was demoralizing. But after about 2 weeks, for some reason, I think everyone that was there have moved on and gone to greater things like Legend, and I'm still here at rank 14. And then I'm encountering the people that have made progression. They're climbing the ladder, and I feel like I always have a better time in the last 2 weeks of a season. So going by that, which would be a bit more fair, it feels like, yeah, there's a lot of stars to fill up to rank up, but also there's a lot of stars to fall back on as well. And I feel like it seems to be better if you're making that slow progress. If you're putting in a bit of time every season, that you will progress eventually, and you will kind of find your place. And I don't think it's perfect, and maybe it never will be, just because of the fact that it's a one-off game. But it doesn't feel bad. I'll say it doesn't feel bad. It hasn't made too much of a difference, and you still get your bonuses, and still progressing at a consistent rate. So I would say it hasn't changed too much for me, but I don't think it's made things worse, and I do think it is a slight improvement perhaps, but it still hasn't changed the first 2 weeks of a season for me, which always seem to be a nightmare. So
And then I wanted to throw in there that for those who are watching the stream, they might know this already, but I was laddering with the classic druid only to see how far, like, that was the challenge. The challenge was, let's take a deck that Blizzard says is probably good for new players. Like, those would be the cards that they would have. Let's see how far we could go on the ladder. with the new system, I got all the way through 25 and pretty much all the way through 24. And then
Okay.
once I hit about rank 23, that's kind of when it stopped and I started falling. So for those out there that are relatively newer players, or maybe you only have those Blizzard pre-constructed decks, tune in, because when I stream next month in April, it will be a different class that I'll be starting off with. I kind of ruined it because I started off with another deck now, so we're done with that for now. We were doing well though, all the way up to 23, so you can at least get a chest in with those classic decks.
That's a good point though, Michael, because like you say, if you're first getting into the game, those are the decks where I know when I first played Hearthstone, I was like, I don't want to make a deck. That seems like hard work. I just want to take a deck that's already been made and go play this game. And I think maybe that's something that needs to be looked at as well. But you're saying that you were able to go in and rank up, which is the 5 wins, which is the 5 wins you need for the card pack as well. So it is interesting to see like how somebody from ground zero can just go in there with the worst possible deck, because it's awful, but still be able to do something with it as well. I think that's vitally important for people that just don't understand the aspect of, oh, you have to build a deck and you have to collect cards, and especially when you're first.
There's still a chance for me. Yay.
There's still hope for you, Marty. There's still hope for you.
Good.
You can do it. So
Yes.
pretty exciting in Hearthstone land with the.
So just to finish off here, do we know anything about when?
It's gonna be in April.
April.
But that's it.
That's it. Probably middle of April. About a month's time, we'll be getting pretty close to get new cards and having the new year of the Raven.
All right, I think with those words, it's time for us to close it down and get the hell out of here.
Last orders! Last orders!
I have
So,
something to say. Sorry.
You have something to say.
You just went
Tom?
silent, so I thought you were letting me in there. But
No.
I've just noticed that Faith and Science in the chat is saying, any news on Warcraft 4? The answer is no. No Warcraft 4 done this week, but maybe next week. Tune in next week. We might have Warcraft 4 news. Might.
Maybe. I don't think I got a little bit thrown off here right now. I don't think there's no. It's fine. It's fine. You keep doing it. If you out there who are listening, do you think there will be any Warcraft 4 news soon? You can let us know. We can talk about it. We can have a conversation. Tom, do you know where?
No. I have no idea.
Michael,
Of course
do you
I
where?
know. Of course I know. You can email the show at thebluereclusepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at The Blue Recluse. And why not come over and join the conversation in the bluerecluse.eu/Discord, where we're talking about St. Patrick's Day, and we're getting visitors from Warcraft games like Lord Jaraxxus coming in and spamming our channel. So good. You wouldn't get it anywhere else. You can support what we're doing here at patreon.com/the Blue Recluse. What else is there? What else is there indeed? My scrolling isn't working, so I can't see the bottom of my page. What is it? Oh, you can
Website.
find all this information, including our show notes for this episode, on our website, thebluerecluse.eu. And also, just a shout out to people that are listening on the audio. You can come and join the Blue Recluse live on Twitch, twitch.tv/the Blue Recluse, where we're going live every Sunday now at 7 p.m. Central European time, and it's proving to be a lot of fun and challenging. Also, Michael has something very important to say right now.
You can also find us on Twitch live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Pretty much it's around 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's West Coast, California. So feel free to come on by. Sometimes we play Hearthstone, sometimes we level alts, and sometimes other games. Just come tune in. It's a good time.
Lost Vikings. Stream.
Maybe
Make
Blizzard
it
Classic.
happen. Yes, classic streams. That's what we need. Bring it back.
All
Keep
right.
it up on Thoughtbot. Bring back Thoughtbot.
with those words, I think it's time for us to let Freshly finish off the show so we can get out of here. So, Freshly, take it away.
Welcome to the Frazzle Report. I am Frazzly, and today is Friday, March 16th, 2018. We got our first look on Wildhead and Upright Orcs this past week. We spoke with an orc who underwent this change in the WoW beta for Azeroth Alpha. Grarnath Wildshift decided to try this new posture. He went to the barbershop, and after a bone-cracking chiropractor session, he explained the effect on him that the change had. Granath says that he has decided to no longer take up arms against the Alliance. He is instead going to take ballroom dancing lessons, take up an interest in reading intellectually stimulating literature. He is also going to start listening to classical music on Pandora and has taken up a degree in medicine. He says the posture change seemed to open up a part of his brain he never knew was there. We wish Granath the best in his endeavors. Maybe this change means that some orcs will finally start doing productive things. This explains why Alliance is the best. All of us have good posture. Never mind that Gonans in their Worgen form have a hunch. Their human form has good posture. I kid. Don't send in your hate mail over my posture joke. Granath actually told me he was planning to do all of these before the posture change. His ballroom dance instructor kept yelling at his posture. I really do like the Horde. Just in PvP, don't expect me to not try to kill you. But you will probably kill me anyway. Speaking of dancing, where is the dance studio that was teased for Wrath of the Lich King? I bet Wrathleon is there learning some sweet dance moves.
Interesting. Yes. Yes. Oh, this will be fun.
Watch Wrathleon show up in a cutscene while showing off these dance skills.
They will get what they deserve. You did well.
This has been the Frazzle Report. I am Frazzly Sparkspan. You can find this show at frazzlereport.com. Until next week, be awesome. I think I'll go grab some lunch at the Blue Recluse. Maybe I'll run into Tom, Michael, and or Marty.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.